Hey everyone, Jake here for American Trucks, and in this video we're taking a look at the Red Rock Rebel Style Upper Replacement Grille with LED daytime running lights fitting 2013 to 2018 Ram 1500s. This is a great choice for the Ram owner who's looking to bring a little bit of that aggressive off-road Rebel style to your Ram with this upper replacement grille from Red Rock. This is an easy way to change up the look of your front end and add some additional lighting to bring some of that Rebel flavor to your own truck for an affordable price tag. If you're after that little extra something to set your Ram apart from the pack, this grille from Red Rock is going to appeal to you. It features an open honeycomb pattern reminiscent, of course, as the name would imply, of Ram's own Rebel pickups, or just one that you might find pulling off jumps out in the desert. You've also got 3 LED lights right up here at the top to add to that signature off-road look, and they integrate with your daytime running lights for seamless functionality. Now this is a bolt-in replacement for your stock grille too, and it comes with everything you need to get it fitted and wired up and ready to roll. So you can just put this right on your truck without having to modify the truck itself. And if you're going for that blacked out theme with your build, this is going to look right at home as well. Now, of course, this is going to also change up the actual look of the grille too. Instead of the typical crosshair type, you've got this more open mesh type of grille. So this is going to add a little bit of additional airflow into the engine bay, so you get some function to go along with your form too. And I think this really just makes for a more aggressive look. So if that's what you're after, this is definitely a win. Construction here is all high quality ABS plastic, so this is strong, it's lightweight, and it's durable. This also comes out of the box exactly as you see it right here. So it's got this nice black finish on it and it's ready to mount. Though since it is ABS plastic, you do have the option to paint this pretty easily. All 3 of the LEDs are weather sealed against the elements, so they should have a nice long lifespan. And since this was designed using OEM CAD data from Ram themselves, this will fit again right in place of your stock grille. Coming in at about $250, this is one of the most affordable full replacement grilles on the market, and with the inclusion of the LED lights here, there is no denying that this is a good value. Our customers seem to agree as well. This is very highly rated on our site, so check out what some of them have to say while you're shopping. Installation itself is going to be pretty simple. We're going to give it a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and you should plan on spending about 2 hours to get this done. Now, popping the grille itself in is rather easy, but in order to get those lights to work, you are going to have to do a little bit of wiring. Really, it's just power and ground to get these tapped into your daytime running lights. You've got connectors and they're already set up and ready to go for you, so you can just plug those LEDs in, making this a pretty simple setup. It's definitely something a DIYer can handle at home, and everything you need comes right in the box, including a couple of Scotch-Lock connectors to get that power and ground wired up. And now to show you just what's involved, let's head on out to the install bay.
For this install, you will need an impact, an extension, 10mm socket, clip removal tool, Phillips head screwdriver, wire strippers and crimpers, and either the provided inline taps or, for the way we did it, male and female spade connectors. What's up guys, today we're going to be installing a new grille on our Ram. Now before we do that, we're going to need to remove our grille and also our headlight because there is some wiring involved, so we're going to send you to watch a short video on that. First, we're going to remove our upper shroud, and we'll send you to watch our quick video on headlight and grille removal, and we'll see you when you get back.
For this install, we are going to have to pull the grille off the front end of our truck to gain access to the headlights. You don't need a whole lot of tools to accomplish this job, and I'm going to walk you through every step of the process. So let's get started. The first step is actually going to be to remove the rad support cover. Ours is missing, and all you'll need is this little clip removal tool to pop the clips out to remove that, and that is going to gain you access to these 4 10mm bolts here at the top of the grille. So I'll use my 10mm socket on a ratchet and pull those out. Once those bolts are removed, you can grab the grille from the front end and just give it a good pull, and it should come right off. The next step is actually going to be behind the headlight, and you're going to gain access to this through the inner fender liner. There's an access window that we can use to get to the back of the headlight, and we're going to be feeling for this white tab here. It has a lip on the bottom of it, and all we have to do is push it up to unlock it. I just need to pull the clip for the access window back, and then I can fold that back out of my way, and then I can put my hand inside and release the tab. Next, once again using my 10mm socket and ratchet, I'm going to remove the 2 bolts here on the front of the headlight. That'll allow me to pull it out and unplug it from the vehicle. Now I can pull my headlight out and unplug my connectors. Just to give you a little bit of a better visual of the clip that I was referring to earlier, this is it right here, and it is currently in its locked position. By pushing it up, you open up the slot here to allow the headlight to come out.
Now to first remove our shroud, we will need a clip removal tool, and it is held in by these little push clips. So we'll go ahead and remove those. Once you have those out, we can pull our shroud out and set it aside. Alrighty guys, so now before we can go on with our new grill, we're gonna have to do some quick assembly for the bracketry to hold it in place. Now this one does not come with the center locators, it only has the bottom ones. So we're gonna add in our pop clips here to the bottoms to lock that into place. And those are simply gonna go into the bottom slots here. Just press right in, they'll snap into place. Now that we have those in, we'll install our top brackets. Now these are labeled for right and left based on the driver's seat of the vehicle. And the outer brackets here are tapered, so they're gonna fit in the corner of the grill. And these outer ones are gonna be held on by Phillips head screws, so we'll grab our Phillips head screw bit on our impact and get these in place. So now we'll get our outer bracket in place. So you notice they have 4 screw holes, but there's only 3 on the grill itself. So we'll want to line our taper up with the outer edge of our grill, and the 3 screw holes that it's meant for will line up. We'll get one of our Phillips head screws in place here. And we'll grab our Phillips head screwdriver, get that one started. Now that that one's started, we'll get our other 2 in place. Now we can screw all 3 down once we know it's lined up. Now you notice we have the original packaging underneath the grill. You definitely want to lay something down so you don't scratch the front of your grill up. Now we can move on to our other brackets. Now for your center brackets, you're gonna have these square-headed studs that are gonna slot into our mounting points. So we'll get those in place. There's gonna be 4 for each of your center brackets. And we'll line up our center bracket again. These are labeled, and you want the recessed part to be facing up towards the top of the grill. Once we get that in place, we'll install our 4 10mm flange nuts onto our studs. Once you get those on, we'll tighten these down with our 10mm socket and extension on our impact. Now remember, this is plastic. You don't have to go crazy with your tightening. Just get them nice and snug. And once you have these 2 on, you can repeat the same process for the other 2. Now that we have our pre-assembly done for our grill, we also need to do some light wiring for the grill lighting. So we've got our 2 wires here that are gonna tie into our headlight wiring. We're gonna have to add spade connectors to them. We already have female spade connectors on our wiring from previous installs. Now you could also use T-taps or the included inline taps. We're just going with this because we already have this set up. So we've got our strippers here. We'll expose some of our wiring. And we can install our male spade connectors. Slide in here. Make sure you don't have any strays. And we'll grab our crimpers, crimp these wires down. And once you give that a firm grip, you want to give it a little tug just to make sure your connection is secure. And we'll do the same thing for our red wire. Now that we have our connectors on, we'll route our harness and get it ready for our grill. Now we can route our harness to our headlight wiring. It's a little tough to see, but if you come back behind your rad support, in between your radiator and that, there is a gap. You can send your wiring through. It'll come through there. And there is another opening over here to get it into the headlight area. And once we have it into the headlight area, we're going to grab our marker bulb connector. As you can see, we already have our spade connectors in place. And we'll connect our red wire to what would be our white with black stripe. And our black wire to our blue wire, which is actually our black wire. Now that we have our wiring done, we can reinstall our headlight. So we'll reattach our marker bulb connector and lock that safety tab back in, as well as our main connector here. And we'll set this back in place. Make sure you line up your rear locators as well as your front mounting points. So we'll grab our two 10mm screws that mount the front of our headlight and our 10mm socket on our impact. We'll start with our upper one. And we'll get our longer lower one in place. And we'll go around back and get our rear locking tab in. Now again, this is difficult to see, but you want to remember to reach into that trap door in your wheel well, push that tab up into its lock position. Then we can close our trap door and get our push clip back into place. Now we'll get ready to install our grill. So we're going to set it on our bumper. Before we put it in place, we're going to grab our harness. We're going to run that under our rad support in the front. So we'll get our harness under our rad support. This is just going to keep it out of the way of our hood and our locking mechanism. Now these all do the same thing, so it doesn't matter which one you connect them to. We'll make sure they're underneath our mounting tabs. Get that one in. Connect our center one. And then our last one. Once you have that connected, you can bring your excess wiring back behind your rad support. You want to make sure it's under your hood latch as well as your connecting points for the top of your grill. Now because this grill sits more flush with the front of our truck, we will have to take these two flaps off, and they can get removed with a clip removal tool. I'll just pop these right off. And you'll want to do the same thing for this lower flap as well. Now we'll get our grill in place by first lining up the lower mounting points. And we have some slots at the bottom, as well as those locator tabs. I'm going to give those a push into position. And we'll get our upper grill mounting point in place. Now we'll reinstall our four 10mm screws for our upper grill mount. We've got our 10mm socket on our impact. Get our two center ones in first, followed by our two outer ones. Once we have that in, we can reinstall our upper shroud. Just line back up. Now you will notice that these two center tabs do not have holes. Pop those out so the rest will fit flush. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our Red Rock Rebel style upper replacement grille with LED DRLs for your 13 to 18 Ram 1500, excluding the Rebel. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.